E aí, como é que vocês estão? Calma aí, deixa eu só tá ligado. Só confirmar se tá gravando ótimo, mas tá gravando assim. Porque normalmente eu tenho mania de deixar desativado. Isso já aconteceu em várias lives. Mas enfim, como é que vocês estão? É, eu não
We're way behind
fiz
schedule.
live recentemente porque, bom, não tava afim, não tava sentindo muito animado. Bom,
We're
agora
way
eu
behind
tô.
schedule.
Só que eu tô com preguiça de fazer live. Não é porque eu tô,
Next on the agenda.
mas é porque eu tô assistindo Hunter x Hunter, sabe? Então eu tô focado em terminar Hunter x Hunter primeiro. Então toda noite eu tô assistindo bastante.
It's
Tipo, por
so
exemplo,
nice
agora eu
to
vou assistir até
de-stress.
umas meia-noite, provavelmente. Mas eu parei um tempo aqui pra gravar pra vocês. Por quê? Porque eu não tenho mais vídeo salvo. Então quando eu não quero fazer live, eu posto vídeo. Só que como eu não tenho nenhum vídeo mais privado, porque vocês talvez não saibam, né? A maioria sabe, eu acho, né? Que eu sempre gravo vídeos e deixo privado para postar quando eu não quero fazer lives. Então travando um pouco na hora de falar, mas tudo bem, faz parte. Talvez seja o costume. E a live anterior de fazendo rota, nossa, tava muito desanimada. Isso porque, pô, rota em live pra mim não dá. Não, talvez na próxima atualização vai dar, mas nessa aqui não dá, velho. Não dá, porque as minhas rotas são por vídeo, já que a bússola aqui é uma merda. Acessar mais um mapa interativo? Não, eu não gosto do mapa interativo. O mapa interativo, às vezes o povo. Porque, tipo, não sei se você sabe, mas o mapa interativo são os próprios
We're way
players que
behind
botam o
schedule.
negócio. Eu sei que tem um site lá sem ser o site oficial, que também é confiável, tem até link mostrando não sei o que. Mas, mano, sei lá, eu não gosto. Não estou afim. Eu não gosto, realmente não gosto. Dá preguiça só de abrir o mapa interativo para vocês terem noção. Mas é só gosto meu, tá? Vocês podem usar à vontade. Não é ruim, tá ligado? Eu só não gosto. E eu não quero enrolar muito aqui vocês. Inclusive, eu tô com 150 de resina. Vocês falam, nossa, mas que crime, por que isso? Bom, porque eu finalmente consegui isso aqui, ó. Vão observando. Vou descendo com calma, vai. Assim é melhor. Estão surpresos? Aí vocês falam, ah não, lá embaixo vai ter um azul. Não, não vai ter não. Nem azul nem roxo. Olha ali. Eu tô no máximo de artefato. E todos são 5 estrelas. É isso. Conquista, grande conquista. Agora eu posso
Next on the agenda.
simplesmente pegar um artefato que eu acho que é bom, upar ele e pronto, acabou, tá ligado? Tipo, eu gasto um artefato inútil de defesa e eu sempre vou ter artefato pra upar outros, tá ligado? Eu sempre vou ter. Nunca vai faltar, tá ligado? Poça de food, porque, mano, eu tenho. Eu tô zerado, tá ligado? Eu zerei os
We're way
artefatos, é
behind
isso.
schedule.
Não tecnicamente, né? Porque tem muito set aí que eu nunca farmei. Que eu nunca toquei. Dos caramujos, por exemplo. Não me interessa, eu nunca toquei. Nem preciso, na verdade. Talvez em algum momento eu preciso, né? Mas não acho que eu vou pegar os caramujos. Talvez seja outro motivo. Eu sei que eu tô enrolando demais. Já era pra eu ter iniciado. E detalhe, eu não sei quanto tempo vai ser esse vídeo. Porque eu já tô enrolando demais. E eu sei, não precisam me falar, eu sei que lendária demora uns 40 minutos ou 50 minutos, dependendo da lendária. E eu tô enrolando uns 10 minutos já. 10 minutos? 4 minutos. 4 minutos e 50 segundos. 52. Quando eu ver tá 50. Sei lá. É, 50. É porque eu olhei no OBS rapidinho. Então, gente, não se preocupem, tá? Eu sempre vou ser sincero com vocês. Tipo, todo
We're way
vídeo que
behind
vocês
schedule.
verem vai ser, vai ser atrasado. Às vezes nem tanto.
It seems like
Esse
there's
aqui, por
another event
exemplo,
going on at the
eu gravei no
Quarterfine
mesmo
Team.
dia.
Look at that.
Nesse momento que eu
Road
estou
flag
gravando,
signs,
é
as far
8
as the eye
horas e
can
52. Provavelmente esse vídeo sai... Nossa, eu não deixei pra irmão terminar a fala. Provavelmente esse vídeo, ele sai ele é postado
Is
umas
this really okay?
10, talvez umas 10 horas da noite. Desculpa o atraso do vídeo, mas é porque realmente não vai dar, tô sem opção. E eu gosto da chiori, eu pensei, pô, eu tô enrolando demais pra fazer a lendária dela, eu vou fazer agora. Acho que eu tô falando demais também, mas é isso, né? Eu tenho que falar no vídeo. Pra entreter vocês. Meu Deus, travei tudo agora. Quem aqui vai falar se não foi eu, né? Só tem eu aqui. É óbvio que eu posso simplesmente entrar lá na call lá, mas... Bom, eu falei pra eles que ia comer, só que eu tinha que postar vídeo, então tô gravando aqui. E esse vídeo aqui vai ser tecnicamente surpresa pra eles, eu acho. Bom, eu parei a frase que eu ia que soltou sei lá, tipo um mini arroto, só que não é um arroto, sei lá, não sei explicar. Mas eu acho que eles não devem saber que eu tô gravando, né? Que, sei lá, porque pensaria do nada. Vamos parar de enrolação, vou botar no tomate aqui, ok?
I told you I could
Tá
do
bom,
it
eu
using the
prefiro no
leftover
automático.
funds from the original deposit.
A voz da
Don't
Chiori é
tell
bem
me you're
bonita,
afraid
velho.
that I cheaped out on the dress. No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's
Ah,
always been my dream
eu
to
esqueci
wear
de
a
atualizar
Chiori a boutique
vocês.
dress for my wedding. I really
Eu...
thought the chance had passed me
Eu tô
by.
com... Como pode dizer?
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's
Eu...
actually at her shop today?
Eu tô farmando pro novelete. Eu já deixei uma área... Eu ainda tô farmando pro novelete lá naquele mapa que eu tava farmando no outro vídeo. Eu já deixei uma área 100% e outra tá quase 100%. Eu tô quase terminando a rota da segunda. Aí falta a última. Vocês não têm ideia o quão chato eu acho fazer isso e tudo, mas tá acabando. Isso que é bom, tá acabando. E é porque em vídeo você se atrasa, você tem que observar bem o vídeo, você tem que voltar ao vídeo, entender bem o que você tem que fazer. É o dobro do tempo. Então, a rota que eu faço é 1 hora. 1 hora. A primeira foi 1 hora e 20 minutos. 12, não lembro, 18. A segunda que eu tô fazendo agora, eu achei que seria menor, mas é maior. Eu nem sabia que ia ter segunda, na verdade. Eu achei que era tudo naquilo. Mas eu me iludi muito. E é isso, né? Acabei nisso. Bom, vamos focar na história.
Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun, but it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place
Extravagante, me
once a
lembrou
year,
um
after
rap
all.
aí, não vou falar qual. Quem sacou, sacou.
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous fashion week that our label
Som
first
tá
took
alto?
off.
Deixa eu ver aqui pra vocês.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now?
Olha,
People will still buy your clothes even
tá
if
no
you
máximo.
don't participate this year, right?
Então, é pra tá bom.
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought. All that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chiori designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Mano, eu não tô conseguindo focar na história. Eu não tô zoando pra vocês, não. Não tô zoando. Eu tô lendo. Não, tipo, eu não tô lendo. Eu tô meio que, tipo, eu tô vendo.
We're a
Eu
long
tô
way from
observando,
being
eu
a
tô
swimmer,
lembrando, eu tô
though.
pensando em
Aren't you
outras
concerned that
coisas.
your
Tipo, por
shipment might get
exemplo,
lost or stolen
eu tô
along the
pensando em
way?
uma postagem que eu vi do Camus sobre
No need to worry.
a boca do
I've
personagem ser
already
um
taken steps
risco.
to ensure that
Que tem
it'll
que dar
arrive
zoom
safely.
pra aparecer a
I've
boca nas
entrusted the
thumb
job
que
to
eu faço,
Company
por
Express's
exemplo.
most reliable courier.
E eu tava pensando exatamente isso.
Excuse me.
Eu
Coming
não tô
through. Coming
focando.
through.
Ah, agora eu entendi.
Chiori,
Agora eu
your
entendi
shipment's
porque
here.
não para de ter fanart
I know it's
da
quite late, so
Chiori
I'm
com
really,
a
really
Kirara.
sorry.
Já imaginava que seria algo assim, já imaginava.
Deep breaths,
Mas
Kirara.
tem
Then start
tem
again.
vídeo bonitinho, um
Oh,
meme
so
delas
Kirara's the
juntas.
courier you were
Tem
talking
de tudo,
about.
velho.
Oh, hey,
Não, de tudo
traveler
não, né?
Paimon.
Não,
Fancy seeing you here in
não,
Fontaine.
não.
It's been a while.
Não, não, não. Esquece essa palavra aí de tudo. Então a partir do. Não. Ah. Que prazer vocês encontrei já faz um bom tempo. Eu vou falar que tem uma parte do. Eu tô na
Maybe
próxima
next time.
vez.
Considering how late this delivery is, I'm not sure this is the time to play cards. Plus, I know this shipment is really important to Chiori, so I should probably make sure everything's in order. Wait a second. This is the
Eu
second
também
time
esqueci
that
que
you've
as
seen me flip a
duas.
delivery job now,
Que as
isn't it?
duas fiquem em Inazuma, né?
You somehow
Então
always
faz
happen
até
to catch
sentido
me
elas se
off my game,
conhecerem.
huh?
Faz bem
So,
sentido.
what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather.
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just
É até
ran
meio
into a bit
estranho
of
pensar
trouble,
que
that's all.
a Kirara e
Bandits,
a
then?
Shiori
Or
de
treasure
Inazuma.
hoarders?
Porque eu olho pra Shiori e eu penso,
Run-ins on
pô,
the
ela é
road aren't
de
usually enough to give
Fontaine.
you any
Olha pra
trouble.
Kirara, ela é de Sumer.
Well, I didn't
Não,
run
se bem
into
que ela não combina
anyone
com Sumera.
exactly. I just got a
Combina com
little
Inazuma
lost.
mesmo, eu não sei. Mas é porque a Kirara lançou em Sumero e a Shiori em Fontaine. A escala dela tá balançando. Eu não lembro se é porque ela tá feliz ou porque. Eu não lembro.
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
All right. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine.
Meu
They were a
Deus.
little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with two tails. So it was a targeted hit? I got the sense that they were actually targeting Chiori's goods.
My
Eita.
fabric shipment?
Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown. Oh, are you okay, Kirara? Oh, I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up.
Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my goods they were after. You've got other deliveries to make in Fontaine, don't you? Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Well...
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
Meu Deus.
You always know how to get me, Chiori. Alright, I'll talk. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating. One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time.
Língua
He said that a
solta.
certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chioria Boutique's delivery.
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one
Meu
go?
Deus.
I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you've still got Fashion Week to worry about.
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
Alright.
Merece ouvir umas boas,
The
hein?
guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Uter. Now that name rings a bell. Wouldn't you say, Kirara?
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you. So you both know this Uter guy?
through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
So he's like a business rival.
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials.
Nossa.
He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good name. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square, but I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Hora de dar o troco, eita.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you rest in my shop for a little while before heading back?
O que será que ela vai fazer com ele? Com ele ou ele, sei lá.
And she's gone.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on. But with her fiery temper, I'm just worried whatever she's about to do will feel negative publicity about her right before the start of Fashion Week. Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for me? As a formal employee of Komonia Express, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get involved.
Não seria adequado, né?
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that Uter guy's safety.
Vamos lá. Consta Chiori.
Next on the agenda.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me like that. Oh? And I see the Traveler and Paimon are here too.
Chevras, we meet again.
Você está em patrulha? Vou perguntar
Well,
se
things have
tudo
been
bem.
fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made. I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol. Not ideal, if you ask me.
Well, you were one of the leading roles after all.
So, did something happen?
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever
Muito
made
melhor
one that didn't
seria
violate
fazer
proper
alguma coisa
procedure?
que não violasse. Eita.
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn yourself in for one.
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything too out of line.
Are you planning to?
Not if I can help it.
Eita.
All right. Where is this person?
Follow me.
Cara, é Chiori, poucas ideias. Eu gosto disso.
Tipo, demonstra que ela... Oh, meu
Just
Deus.
promise you'll start trying to keep yourself
Demonstra
out
que
of trouble.
ela... Pode
Well.
dizer.
When trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that.
Demonstra que ela... Meu Deus, eu não sei, mas eu... A palavra subiu da minha cabeça. Calma.
This should be the place. You all wait here. I'll go have a...
Demonstra que...
You know, Chevron,
Que ela não é que a pessoa,
kinda
tipo...
gets the sense that you two are
Ah,
actually
eu
pretty
vou
close.
ali...
e
It's
vou
just
falar
as
pra ele não
Chiori
fazer
said.
isso, não
We
sei o
got to
que, tá
know each other
ligado? Não.
pretty well in our
Ela
lines of
vai
work.
lá
You could
xingar
call
o
it
cara,
a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of
bater no cara,
situation.
não sei o que.
Does Chiori often need your help?
Tipo, ela não é a maioria dos
I'd say
personagens,
it's
tipo,
mutual.
que
The Special Patrol needs her help quite
inofensivo,
often as well.
que vai deixar essa
We've got
passar.
tough problems of our
A
own.
Chiori é de pessoa,
Getting
tipo,
people to talk, for
ah,
example.
eu não vou deixar essa
The
passar.
uniform, the musket,
Você
they're
vai se
intimidating.
arrepender. Vai
Most
ter
people clam
vingança
up the
da
minute they see
volta.
us.
É
Lips sealed so
literalmente
tight,
isso.
getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of
Eu sei que
Meripede.
isso não é uma atitude legal.
But put them in a clothing boutique,
Mas,
and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters
em
of the
jogo a
fountain of
gente sempre quer
Lucine.
ver vilão
Oh, is it because
ou
they're trying to show off or
personalidade que sai um
something?
pouco do padrão, tá ligado? E a Chiori ela sai do
Yep.
padrão. Então eu
People are
gosto
vain
disso.
creatures. They can't help but want to talk up new developments
Sabe,
in
é
their
muito bom.
lives or show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity quite like fashion. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop. Most of her customers are
Agora
members of the
não, eu
upper
tô
class,
fazendo
which means
lendária.
they're pretty much up to the gills in wealth and intel.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Huh, Paimon gets it now?
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her also tend to be rich and powerful.
Será que foi algum amigo que entrou?
And in some very rare cases,
Eu vou dar uma
I'm
olhada.
forced to protect other people from Chiori herself.
Eu sei que não dá pra
So,
ver, né? Mas
Who got on her case
eu
this
posso ver minha
time?
lista de amigos
It's been a
e
while
ver
since I
se,
last saw her that
se foi algum
angry.
deles.
Oh, so this is what happened.
Huh? Uter, you say?
Mouse na frente.
You've heard of
Acabei
it?
de tirar.
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick in the book. I heard that even the Maison Gardiennage issued him a warning due to his behavior. So he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Whoa, what's this about a funeral all of a sudden?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but why?
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
Eita! Poucas ideias.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of
Carai,
stupidity?
poucas ideias.
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over
Gostei dessa
and
arte,
over
viu?
again.
Provavelmente
It
vai ser a
appears
thumb do
you've
vídeo.
forgotten
Nossa,
what I
vai ser a
told you
thumb.
before.
Literalmente vai ser a
So,
thumb.
allow me to refresh your memory. Lay off the dirty tricks.
Calma aí, deixa eu tirar a thumb.
Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Thumb tirada.
Ahem. Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation.
Calma aí.
Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and
Pronto.
seemed to have missed what happened. Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
Forget it. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to
Na
tossing
verdade,
out any
uma thumb é
trash I come
melhor os
across on the
personagens de
street.
frente, mas tudo bem.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
Não totalmente
That's all for
diferente.
I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
Tipo assim, ó. Tipo essa
We'll
pose que ela
see
tá agora.
about that.
Ou assim, ó. Essa é uma boa thumb.
Scared the heck out of Paimon. How did he just go flying
Mas
out
isso é
like
só
that?
preferência minha. Que arco gracioso.
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Oh, not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I
Acho que
kept that.
mantive minha palavra.
I
É
started
verdade.
with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything, he kept running his mouth with insults and threats.
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those bandits. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can do is guarantee her safety. Oh, that reminds me. There is another favor I'd like to ask of you today.
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor
Nossa,
quota
que
for the day.
maldade,
Have
Chevrolet.
I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota then.
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always
Nossa.
pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours.
A Chevrolet também não é bem diferente. É, não foi nenhum amigo que entrou, sei lá. Porque nenhum tá online que usa foto do caso.
We're way behind schedule.
Então, né? Bom. Vamos subir aqui. Quase que cai, eu jurava que eu ia cair.
We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time. Oh, please tell me nothing bad happened.
There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are to blame, along with a certain someone who doesn't know when to lay off the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rusula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't
Tecnicamente
go
eu tô
anywhere
quase na
near your
metade
goods.
da missão
Unless, of course, it's to offer
lendária
to carry
dela.
them for you.
Eu falo isso por experiência de tempo
Good
mesmo.
one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal. You're going back to Inazuma tomorrow, right?
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Navia, I'll give her a heads up in a bit.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter. Don't you think this is a bit much?
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing, for my own peace of mind. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Mano, a cheiro tão bonita que eu vejo vários momentos pra tirar também. Por exemplo, olha isso, mano. O viajante, por exemplo, paradão, não faz nada, nenhuma pose, nenhuma animação. A Shiori, cada vez ela tá com uma pose diferente. Por exemplo, ó, ela tá com os braços escorados na cintura. Sei lá, não sei explicar essa pose. Antes ela tava com os braços cruzados. Sei lá, é bem legal. Outra ela tava com a mão no queixo, aquela hora que eu falei que é um momento perfeito também pra thumb, não sei o que. É isso, né? Viajante aí, paradão. Desculpa falar, mas é realmente verdade, velho. A gente não tem muita animação, coitado. Fazer o que, né? Só pense nisso como um tipo de situação, uma hora ou outra.
Yes, well put.
Well,
Só porque eu
if you
falei, né?
think it's a good
Só porque eu
idea,
falei, hoje a gente
traveler,
cruzou o
then
braço.
I guess
Só
it's
porque eu falei
fine.
aquilo.
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything
Talvez o
should be
viajante
good to
esteja
go
sim
for
fazendo algumas
Fontaine
coisas.
Fashion Week,
Só eu que não
right?
tô notando
I
mesmo.
believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course, they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chioria brand, yes?
Well, I mean, with the amount of places that I deliver to, it's only natural that some people from other nations haven't heard of it.
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the Chioria brand renowned throughout all of Teyvat.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree.
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help out with Fashion Week?
I'm sure I could think of something.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
Você precisa que a gente se inspire também. Oxi, a gente pode ficar com essa roupa. Ah, tá, eu acho que pude fazer.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye. I'll even give you a special discount.
Eita.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to get curious about all this design stuff.
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and I don't know. Paimon here will show off some kids' designs. I'll see you both tomorrow then.
Yep, sounds good. Wait, kids' clothes? Paimon told you already she's not a little kid.
Ah, mas o tamanho dela é de criança, ela não pode fazer nada. Ato 1? Eu não tô no ato 2 ainda? Não vi se era 2 dias, meu Deus, devia ter visto primeiro. Que clima legal. Tipo, eu gosto tipo, de ver o jogo de dia. Nós vai entrar na. Mentira que nós vai entrar no salão dela, velho. Miho tá de parabéns agora, finalmente fez algo legal. Normalmente ela nunca faz um negócio desse. Olha, realmente deixa eu entrar aí. Nossa, é bonito por dentro.
You're here early.
Bem bonito.
I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Miho nunca faz esse tipo de
Wait,
coisa.
has Kirara left already?
Yep, with the special patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP.
A nave, que
For the second
bonitinho.
leg, the Spina also came
Ai,
with a pretty
ai.
large
Nave
group,
de óculos de
led by
sol
Navia
sorrindo.
herself.
Com um
They
guarda-chuva.
took care to clear the path beforehand
A
as
espada
well.
dela, na verdade, né? Que
Kirara
vira um
won't so much as
guarda-chuva.
step on a single stray rock on her journey.
Na
I
verdade,
even
não.
heard that Navia
Não vira um
decided out of the
guarda-chuva. Eu
blue to make a
brisei.
batch of
É
macarons
realmente um
as a going
guarda-chuva
away
que ela
gift
usa
for
pra
Kirara.
atacar
An
aqueles
excellent
tiros.
souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Aqueles
Sounds
tiros
like
no E.
Navia really got into it.
No E dela, no
My
estilo
thoughts
dela.
exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare
Muito
something even
bonitinho
fancier.
essa
I'm
fotinha.
pretty sure she can't
E
wait for
Roya
another escort
capricha em
opportunity
algumas
to come her
coisas,
way.
né? Pelo menos isso.
Now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks
Pô,
the
eu-
two of you are actually
Eu
pretty
critico a
similar.
Mihoyo,
You
mas
say what you mean, and
quando
when
eu
you
vejo
have an
algo que me
idea,
agrada,
you
realmente
really
tenho
hit
que
the ground
elogiar.
running.
I
Eu
suppose that's
elogio,
why we're
não
such
tem
good
como. Eu
friends.
elogio mesmo.
Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, she never bows down in the face of adversity. That sort of determination and courage is something I really admire. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a market the size of that. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah. Come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you help me set up the shop displays in the meantime?
Set them up? How exactly?
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles
Que
together,
legal!
right?
Eu pensei, será que a Mihoyo vai deixar a gente explorar o local? E realmente deixa. Bom, é pequena, mas tipo,
Please organize the clothes
pô,
with an eye towards their
é um
types and
local,
styles.
é uma
I'm counting
loja
on
de
you.
tecido, né? Roupa, esses negócios, então faz sentido. Para que ela disse, eu não vi direito.
Please organize the clothes
Vou
with an eye
organizar as
towards their
roupas de
types and
acordo com os
styles.
estilos,
I'm counting on
Mano, ela falou isso, né? Se a gente não poder vestir alguma coisa, será triste, né? Esse kimono é lindo, eu. Coloque traje feminino, eu vou colocar o segundo. Ah, tá. Isso é só pra arrumar mesmo. Triste. Ah, é pra colocar certinho, né? Entendi.
Not bad. You might just have an eye for design. Anyway, let's move on to the real task at hand. Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Eita, vou tirar a medida do viajante, que bonito.
Excuse me.
Ah,
Miss
nem
Chiori.
ferrando. Ô, Mihoyo, por que
Good
tu
morning,
faz
Leanne.
isso, véi?
How have you been recently?
É só pra irritar a gente, véi. Ela, tipo, dá um sonho da gente ver o viajante com
bad.
skin.
Your
Aí ela
gown will
manda
be
um
ready
figurante
next
pra
week, so there's
interromper
no need to
isso.
worry about missing
E
the ball.
esse evento
Or did
do
you come here
viajante
today
compra
because
roupa
you'd
não
like to make a new
acontecer.
request, perhaps?
É muita sacanagem.
No, nothing like that, Miss Chiori. To be honest, I came here today to cancel my order for that gown.
Cancel your order.
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. Did something happen, Leanne? Have your plans changed? It's alright. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Bem suspeito. Tudo por causa daquele cara,
Is it just
certeza.
Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now? Wonder why she wouldn't tell us why she was canceling her order.
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel, no one to take you to the ball. I've pretty much heard it all. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us. It's best not to pry.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week,
Pode ser
right?
isso, mas eu sei
That's
que não é
true.
isso.
Come,
Tenho certeza que é por
let's
conta
pick up
daquele
where we
cara
left
lá.
off.
Ele fez alguma coisa.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied, so that's why I'm here.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short? Or is the color too dark? I can always make those adjustments for you.
No need. You don't have to concern yourself with that. I'd just like that refund, please.
And I'd be happy to process that for you. If you could just tell me the cause of your dissatisfaction.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my outfit.
Meu Deus. Eu falei que aconteceu. Eu falei que aconteceu algo. Eu
Is
falei
there
que
some sort of
aconteceu.
new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What does the prophecy say this time? You'll be spared if you get rid of all your clothes? Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and return my clothes. What is going on?
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more than a black market front run by a bunch of dirty criminals.
Please calm down, sir.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chiori Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals. It's all over the papers.
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation around?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories, aren't they?
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already proved there's nothing wrong with them. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now. Spare yourself from that flood of yours. Or have you not been convinced of that one just yet?
You...
Bom, tecnicamente, a Chiori não mora em Fontaine, né? Ela não mora em Inazuma. Ela é de Inazuma, mas mora em
Go outside
em
and help
Fontaine.
these customers
É a
with
mesma
their
coisa do
return
Kazuha.
requests.
Kazuha
There's no need to
mora
ask
em...
We'll
Tipo, a
refund
Chiori,
them
ela
the purchase
vive aí.
price.
Eu sempre perguntava se ela tava aí
alright.
por um tempo,
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the
coisa
day.
nos tecidos, ou se ela
Got it.
realmente fica aí o tempo todo. Ela também vive aí, aparentemente. E, assim, não é diferente do caso. Tipo, o caso, ele nasceu em Inazuma, mas não vive em Inazuma. Ele vive em Liyue. Mas não literalmente em Liyue, né? Ele vive lá com a Beidou, lá viajando. Mas ainda assim, tecnicamente é em Liyue. Já que eles ficam mais em Liyue, eu acho.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released. The public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Meu Deus,
Oh, for the love of-
mais notícias ainda.
Can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work? Go on. What's the matter now?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during Fashion Week.
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Esse cara passou do limite, hein? Acho que eu vou acabar literalmente
Is the
matando ele
messenger
mesmo.
still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches, no bow ties, things like that?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend life and soul to my designs.
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't be able to make your designs at all?
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Talvez a gente descubra o que aconteceu.
Yeah, and we can vouch for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's nothing wrong with your clothes.
Thank you. In that case, please come with me.
Vamos lá, né? Vamos sair daqui direto? Vai ser melhor.
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Conversar?
Of course. I wouldn't do anything to one of my business partners, especially when a reasonable conversation should suffice.
Eu não acho que ela vai só conversar. Não mesmo.
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain conventions people usually follow if they want to
Bom, se é
seek
companheiro,
someone's
né? Eu acho que vai ser só uma conversa
company.
mesmo.
Sending a messenger, for example.
And when has following
Mas
convention
imagina só
ever
se
gotten
fosse
me
aquele
anywhere?
outro cara.
Why hire a
Ela ia
messenger
querer
when I can just
matar ele.
explain things in person?
Have you read the papers today?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days I never even read the others.
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
You would think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house. That's how I first learned of the rumors.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
Nossa, deu até
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time,
Deu até
Chiori.
sono por uns
The article
segundos.
was even published alongside a photo of you.
What sort of photo?
A photo of you beating up someone on the street yesterday.
Uma foto dela surrando. Meu
Yesterday?
Deus.
Wait, that means...
Ah, já entendi tudo agora.
Ucher again.
Ele tirou foto dele
I've got a
mesmo
copy.
apanhando.
See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the true Chioria boutique takes shape. Not a fashion house, but a house of lies.
É agora que ela mata
Relying
ele.
on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chioria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided you conceal it under the guise of fashion and beauty.
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Assediou o Chiori primeiro. Ó, vou colocar o primeiro, vai.
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon, but it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of
Eu ia
fashion,
falar,
your
cadê o
past is like a
julgamento?
piece of clothing stained
Cadê?
with mud.
Mas
Once tainted, it can
Mas eu
never be
pensei, pô,
washed
não tem
clean.
aquele negócio mais.
They
Eu pensei,
claim that most
ah,
of your
mas o Neuvillette vai
clientele
continuar
are
julgando.
criminals and that those who buy your
Mas também tem
clothes are just
aquilo,
like you. People who
eu acho que
silence
tem que ser
all
algo um pouco
dissent
mais
with violence.
sério.
The
Tem que ser algo um
absurdity.
pouco mais sério.
I don't
Não
even know
pode ser
which
qualquer
part to laugh
coisinha
at the
pra julgar, né?
most.
Senão
Well,
o Neuvillette
it's no
não vai ter
laughing matter.
descanso. Simplesmente fica
Maybe your
julgar todo
clientele are
mundo.
criminals.
Cada
Maybe
segundo.
they're not.
Tem que ser algo bem
There's
sério
even
pra
the
realmente
possibility that
acontecer.
they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes. But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up their claims.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
If I were younger, I might have said yes. But I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this. She doesn't deserve to be swarmed by all that negative publicity.
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go. There's always next year. You just need to wait for all of this to blow over.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough. Then I suppose all there's left to say
Sim,
is...
a Chiori ela gosta de fazer as coisas do
As
jeito
for the
dela.
models,
Ela não
none of
gosta de
them wanted
fazer
to be
do jeito dos
implicated in all
outros.
of this either.
Tipo,
Understood.
ela
Take care.
segue o que ela quer, que ela gosta. É, tipo, isso é mostrado no trailer dela, algo assim. Só que eu esqueci de tudo já. Não lembro mais de nada.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just a trap.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
É, tudo foi apenas uma armadilha. Ó, quem apareceu.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it makes Paimon's blood boil.
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers in Fontaine share our same sense of journalistic integrity. Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who misrepresent and distort the facts.
That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some people back on our side!
Sim, com certeza.
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof told me you were all together.
She was just here. Maybe she went over there? Let's go check.
Meu Deus. Alcança Chiori.
If you ask me, I think
Meu
Chiori
Deus,
Boutique
susto.
is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
Isso não é legal. Fofoqueiros.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before. Really? How was it? The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
Eu não consigo interagir. Ah, eu esqueci de olhar se estão no ato 1 ou 2.
Oh no, we've lost
Eu tava
her.
pensando, o que eu ia olhar mesmo? Ah, na hora que eu inicio o negócio eu lembro.
What all those
Meu Deus.
people were saying. Paimon can't believe they bought all that nonsense.
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know her. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme sometimes. It's easy to use that to mislead people who don't know anything else about her.
This is all Uter's fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know, so she can, finish what she started?
That would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure Miss Chiori knows that too.
You've got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there then. Elaf, we're back! Oh, who's this?
This is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Eita.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right? Wait, please don't say you're returning that dress too.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her. In fact, if there's anything I can do to help her out, I'd be more than willing.
Ah, so you've come across that article as well.
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to wear a Chioria dress on my wedding day.
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chioria Boutique, and we put down a custom order for a dress. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes, and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to my wedding has always been my dream.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business, and we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but it left us without the funds to pay for the dress.
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the original deposit?
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened, and I told her everything. She heard me out, and then told me not to worry.
Eu acho que esse vídeo só vai ser postado às 10 ou 10h20 ou 10h10, não sei.
And that she'd be able to finish making it in time as well. She promised that I'd be able to wear a Chihoria dress on my wedding day.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just, after I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on. My fiancé happened to walk into the room and when he saw me, he froze on the spot.
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue. He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid.
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction. It was all of the highest quality.
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the record?
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chiori out, I wouldn't mind at all.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
Well, we were. If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any other places she could have gone?
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
All right, sounds good. Let's go.
Meio longo, né? Mas vamos lá.
Did you read the paper today?
Olha, minha amiga mandando mensagem. Depois eu respondo ela. Mano, é capaz de...
We're way behind schedule.
É capaz de depois de eu postar o vídeo, não antes de postar, na hora de eu fazer a thumb, eu dormi no meio da thumb. Não que eu esteja com sono, mas é porque... Bom, eu tô meio sonolento fazendo isso. Que bonito! Bom, a física não é muito legal, mas... Ah, mano, isso é muito bonitinho, velho.
There you are, Chiori!
Ver os dois sentados juntos assim seria muito bonitinho. Seria ótimo pra uma
How did you
thumb,
know
viu?
where I... Olaf told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress. So, you see? You don't have to be sad. We'll figure out how to get through this together.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning.
É bem alta. Ela pergunta se quer se sentar. Não parece que tem muito espaço. Ah, véi. Ô, mas Rui, por que você faz isso? Vai, por quê? É bem alto. Deixa eu ver.
Don't worry. I'll catch you if you fall.
Eu te pegarei. Eita, que isso? Olha. Ah, mano, vai ser a thumb do vídeo, eu mudei de ideia, não vai ser aquela, vai ser isso aí. Ah, que bonitinho, mano. Nossa, vai ser a thumb do vídeo, velho. Ah, mano, isso é muito bonitinho, na moral.
How does it feel?
Meu Deus, que lindo, que lindo.
It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless
Que
critique from fashion
coisa
commentators in the
linda,
media.
mano. O sono até foi
It's just
embora.
you and the beautiful scenery.
Mano, isso é tão lindo pra uma thumb. Ah, mano. Não sei se dá pra ver eu tirando o thumb, mas se der... Bom, pena que não dá pra ver o viajante de lado, mas... Tipo, do lado. Mas não importa. Não importa. Ainda assim, é lindo. Muito lindo. Ah, mano, tô apaixonado nessa arte agora. Isso é muito bonito.
Yeah,
Vamos
it's
continuar.
important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very
Ela
strict
sorrindo é muito
family.
linda.
My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get
Isso.
together with the other children to
A
climb
família dela
trees
não
and
ia,
explore
não
caves.
gostava do jeito dela.
One time, I even climbed
Tipo,
over
ela
the walls
aí,
of
ó,
the
subia em
commissary estate.
árvores, fazia
One
essas
of the
coisas. A
servants
família
had
dela
to
não
physically
gostava.
remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that.
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework,
Sapeca.
I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Ah, chorei incrível.
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just
Olha que
often had
bonito,
strange
mano.
ideas when it came to
Nossa,
fashion.
mano.
Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of
Essa
doing
sim é uma
things.
boa thumb.
On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call.
Calma aí, Chiori. Calma. Na moral, vai ser difícil decidir qual thumb usar, mas depois eu vejo.
Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me. Not even to do grunt work.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Well, that's a great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive
Ah, que
view of
bonitinho os
fashion
dois
back then.
juntos, véi.
As
Eu,
long
eu
as something
tiraria
was
print
pretty, it
disso
would
aí,
become
mas...
popular, right?
Pô, tá
A
muito
simple
zoom,
concept,
tá muito
surely.
zoom.
Of course, as I spent
Se bem que
more and
tivesse
more
muito
time
perto
in the
também não teria
industry,
graça.
I learned nothing was ever that simple.
Ou se não fosse aquele
Least of
navio lá
all,
de fundo,
fashion.
estaria tão bonito. Tão bonito. Ah, Mihoyo não sabe fazer muita cena. Ou se tiver uma cutscene aqui vai ser bonita, tá? Tem que ter uma cutscene, velho. Tem que ter. Eu conheço alguém que simplesmente ama seu design. É sonhava investir em seu casamento. Eita. Sonhava investir em seu casamento. Pensei mais tempo na indústria. Aprendi que nada era assim tão simples. Muito menos moda. E sonhava em investir em seu próprio casamento. Pera. Se eu tô falando de 15 também, não sei.
Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah.
Tá.
She did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone
Isso
else's.
sim dá uma boa thumb, viu? Ou não sei. Eu tô muito em dúvida em qual thumb usar.
Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day. Time to come up with a way out
Não,
of
em
this
qual
mess.
usar pra fazer thumb no caso.
Ooh, looks like you've got your
Ela
game face
levantou.
back.
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders to attack Kirara. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors so we can publish all our findings in the Steambird once we're done.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might be a good place to start looking for some evidence.
Sounds good. We'll come with. As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year, right? So there's no need to be too upset.
Mas ela deveria ganhar.
When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in Fashion Week. I'm doing
Eita,
both.
fazer os dois. Aí sim, Shiori, aí sim.
Your accessories. Didn't you say your designs
Minha
were
garganta
unusable
coçou.
without them?
Calma aí.
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but
Ai, é
To tell you
horrível
the
quando a
truth,
garganta
even
coça.
here in
Meu
Fontaine,
Deus! Para de
every
coçar,
time I see the
desgrama.
sea, I
Pronto,
can't
acho que
help but
parou.
remember Inazuma
Parou mesmo.
and the vow I made in front of
Bora
those
continuar.
masters. Thinking about all that, I just can't bear to take even one step back. The sea.
O mar? Como assim, o mar?
What did you just say, Chiori?
The sea. Seashells, coral.
Ela teve uma ideia.
I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Eita.
Chiori! Wait, hold up!
Ou seria muito legal se a Mihoyo deixasse, tipo, física, por exemplo, ó. A Chiori falou pra dar um mergulho, certo? Sim, mas cadê ela aqui dando mergulho? Tipo, seria muito legal. Eu sei que cutscene é trabalhoso, mas olha ela fazer uma cutscene, olha ela fazer a personagem seguindo com você junto e entrando na água, juntos, os dois juntos. Isso seria tão legal, tão da hora. Eu sei que isso dá trabalho, eu sei que demora, mas mano,
Paimon, what
é
do
uma
you
empresa
think is the most
grande.
beautiful thing in the
Ela é
sea?
rica, ela pode fazer isso.
A Lumitwall? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too.
Olha, mas eu tenho que admitir,
Paimon gets it now.
fazer a voz
You
assim
want to
dentro
use
da
things
água é
like
muito,
that as
é muito
the
legal.
accessories for your design.
Muito legal.
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Quer que eu pegue o Lumitoid? Por
Leave
quê?
it to us.
Lumitoid nunca fica aqui. Esse é outro tipo de Lumitoid. É por conta, tipo... É da missão, né? Então, obviamente vai ser diferente. Tá vendo? Tá até ganhando um item novo. Já tem esses itens já. Só que ele reconhece como outro. Inclusive, o Lumitoid é pra deixar o Neuvillette no 90. Eu tenho tudo certinho pra ele.
Paimon picked all the
Sério, eu tenho
prettiest
tudo
ones
certinho
in
pro
this
Neuvillette.
area.
Tudo. Só falta ter ele, tá ligado? Ter ele, especificamente.
Everything looks great. I've also collected a pretty big batch, so we should have enough.
Great! So are we gonna head
Oh,
back
mas é
now
muito
and
da
make
hora
some
ver
new designs?
eles conversando dentro da água. Pelo menos isso a Mihoyo
Yes,
fez.
don't
Pelo menos
forget.
isso.
We've got more than
É
just the
muito legal ver eles
designs to
conversando
worry
dentro da
about when
água.
we get back. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories.
Nossa, mano.
Next,
De
we'll
dia
need to
eu não
use
achei o
what we
lugar
have
tão
on hand to
bonito.
create some new outfits.
De noite fica lindo,
You
olha
mean we have to
isso, mano.
start
Fica
from
muito
scratch?
lindo o lugar.
Will
O
there be
local,
enough time?
nossa senhora.
I should be able to make it if I skip out on sleep.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is
Eita,
giving
a
me
Genyu
major
mencionada.
déjà vu?
Acho que buscar o que você quer significa. É bem parecido com o que tivemos.
Ganyu?
Genyu
Who's
quem é
that?
essa? É meio óbvio que eu não ia
A friend of
conhecer
ours
ela,
who
né?
does way
Meio
too
óbvio.
much overtime. Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon otherwise.
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work. All this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently on display.
You got it. Wait, what did you
O
just say?
quê? Oxi. Como
You
assim?
heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric and a dream. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma, and I used the scraps to make my entries for the show. I used the larger pieces for the base fabric, and the smaller pieces for accessories. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all these outfits.
I know.
Sim.
That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win, even if it takes everything I've ever made and more.
Okay, then... Here goes nothing.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, If anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer.
Eita,
Just this once, though.
que
I
triste.
think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions.
Pena que eu tô com ele gel. Ah, não queria rasgar. Cadê a Chiori aqui? Ô, Mihoyo. Que isso, Mihoyo? Eu sei que você não quer que a gente interage com ela aqui, mas... Era só botar um pequeno diálogo, tipo... pode ir em frente, por exemplo. Tipo, você conversa com ela, fala, vai lá, pode continuar, vai em frente. Tipo, ou tipo, não precisa ter medo, não tenha dó, não sei. Tá ligado? Não precisava disso. Pô, na moral, eu devia ter colocado o dentro de volta. É que depois da última live eu tava com ele gel, o viajante gel. Pronto, eu destruí
Good
tudo.
job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking
Move
so
na
long.
frente. Olha
I
quem
got caught
chegou,
up in...
Návia.
Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this?
Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? They even sent people to wreck your shop. Give me their names. Since
Meu
they're
Deus, a
all too
Návia
eager
tá
to
vendo
tear
tudo
up other
por...
people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di Rosula return the favor.
A Návia tá vendo tudo
Maybe you
sem
should calm
contexto.
down a bit first, 'cause you see,
Fui eu que disse isso. Patua, por favor, pega leve com a gente. Ai, ai, Patua, ai, ai. Que tradução é essa, velho? Eu fiz isso. Eu vou colocar o primeiro.
Huh?
A voz dela.
What is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get.
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now. Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can all just pretend like I didn't say anything.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
É mesmo, né?
If there's one
Concordo.
thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my friends and get away with it.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that
Mano,
Chiori
é bem
makes the most
engraçado porque tipo,
gorgeous
elas são
outfits in town.
próximas
All of the
e
Spina
elas
di
são
Rosula's
boas
formal
junto na
wear is
gameplay.
custom tailored here.
Muito incrível.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing from this year's show. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and
Mano, é
Lilith?
bem triste que,
I'll need
tipo,
their help as well.
essa história é atual. Você pode ver que os dois lá não aparecem. Os dois não aparecem, porque, tipo... Bom, a Mihoyo pelo menos segue a linha temporal certa. Porque, tipo, na teoria, não era pros dois lá que acompanham a nave aparecer. Agora essa tempo tá sempre sozinha. Meu Deus. Garganta coçando. Mas, tipo, dá pra ver, né? Que ela, como posso dizer? Tá sozinha, é porque a Mihoyo tá seguindo a linha temporal que é tipo como se fosse a continuação da história, tá ligado? Da missão lendária. Não é 100% canônica, mas, tipo, canônico é, tá ligado? Só que não é principal, tá ligado? Não é tipo... não filho, tá ligado? É tipo, como posso explicar, velho? É como se não fosse algo tão importante, sabe? É algo um pouco secundário, tipo, faz parte da história, faz, mas é algo meio que secundário. É tipo, momentos bobos, momentos tipo, menos sérios, sabe? É isso aí que eu quero dizer.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it
Olha,
back yet?
Charlotte.
What happened to the boutique?
Meu Deus.
Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow. Not this again.
Isso de novo não. Ah, é. Eita. Que da hora. As três aqui, dá pra interagir com as três. Ó. Só falta a Kirara chegar aqui toda confusa. Mas ela não vai, né? Ela não vai.
What should we do about these clothes everywhere? Need any help?
Sort them by the type of fabric first, and then by color. Oh, and don't forget to remove any accessories and put them to the side.
That sounds pretty straightforward. I'll help too.
Agora tem que procurar, realmente tem que procurar pelo Linete, que legal. Sentar. Lugar pra se trocar. Bem legal isso, hein? Ainda tô no ato 1? Mano, já foi... Mano, já é 10h08. E já foi 1h21 minutos. De vídeo. Eu não sei qual vai ser o tamanho desse vídeo. Eu tô um pouco surpresa, sabe? Não esperava que fosse tão longo assim. Tipo, imaginaria que seria um horário padrão. Chuto a dizer que isso vai superar o tempo de qualquer missão lendária. Eu acho, né? Não lembro se tem uma muito longa. A do Novelete, se não me engano, é longa, um pouco longa. Não me lembro bem. A nave, acho que é mais ou menos. Não lembro. Eu fiz vídeo de várias missões lendárias. Não todas. Até porque não tem como eu refazer o que eu fiz. Até tem, mas não na minha conta original, né?
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
Mano, da hora, né? Tá aparecendo geral de Fontaine. Não tecnicamente geral, né? Mas muita gente tá aparecendo na missão da Chiori. Se alguém falar que a missão da Chiori tá ruim, a pessoa, sei lá, só não gostou mesmo, não tem bom gosto, porque, pô, sei lá, apareceu Linete, a Chiori, a Chiori, Chiori, óbvio que ela vai aparecer, desculpa, buguei, a Kirara, a Návia. Quem mais? Acho que só, né? Por enquanto. Por enquanto. Se aparecer a Furina ou Neverlight, esqueça. É uma das melhores lendárias. E é isso. Na verdade, pra mim já é uma das melhores. Até porque eu gosto bastante da Chiori.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it? Will she be able to make the deadline?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court of public opinion. She said that it'd be like,
a two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah, something like that.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparations. See you at the venue in 2 days.
Alright, we're counting on you! Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said, and meet up with her at Uter's factory in 2 days. We'll gather the evidence then. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
Agora eu devo estar na última parte. Na segunda, no caso. Não? Tá no ato 1 ainda. Não é possível. O jogo só 2 dias? É complicado esperar tudo isso. Calma.
We're way behind schedule.
Calma, já responda.
We're way behind schedule.
Ai, que missão longa. Queria que não fosse tão longa. Vou fazer alguma coisa aqui. Ah, mentira que é subterrânea. É aqui? É aqui. Bom, faz sentido ser subterrâneo. Ó, chorei.
Oh, you're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming along?
Eu achei que eu ia sozinho
You
lá.
look kinda tired.
Vai ser tipo um domínio, né?
Just a few
Certeza.
steps left now.
Aí depois
I've handed
que
the
acabar o
rest over to
domínio,
Olaf.
acabou
We
a
should be able to
lendária.
make tonight's show.
Wow, that's cutting it real close.
Vai ter
Are you
puzzle?
sure
Eu
she'll be
não
okay
sei.
without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uter has closed his factory. This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically be trespassing on his property if we just barge in like this?
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way...
Que missão longa.
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there.
Não, eu tô
Let's hurry up and
feliz
get
que é
moving.
grande, que não sei o que.
Why would he open a factory over
Mas eu
there?
preciso postar
We have
vídeo
different marketing
hoje.
strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments,
Urgentemente.
he prefers low prices
Eu
and
tô
large
há
sales
3
volumes.
meses, acho que 3 meses, postando vídeo todos os
Maybe the
dias.
rent here is
É
cheap.
como eu disse, a minha meta é
Alright.
postar todo dia, todo o ano inteiro, algum vídeo ou
Paimon
fazer
would
uma
never
live.
choose to buy anything from a place
E
like
vai
that.
dar às meia-noite, eu
You
não
make
vou
a
ter
good point.
Eu sei, agora que é
Let's all be
10
on
e
our
pouco.
guard.
Mas, mano... Mano, legal, essa roupa, essa parte da roupa da Guinea brilha. Você pode até falar que não brilha, mas pra mim brilha, velho. Não é possível. Realmente um domínio, ó. Eu falei. Vou com esse time mesmo e é isso. Vai ser gel e craio. Gel e craio. Tem a chiori também na conta, você está ligado? Então... Mas a chiori aqui de teste.
There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Meu
Please
Deus, tá
follow me,
seguindo agora.
dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand.
Não, chega de papo. Tá legal, tá tudo legal, mas chega de papo.
After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Oter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our design...
Eu interrompi a fala, velho. E agora eu não sei mais o resto da fala.
These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why
Que da hora, um elevador. Isso aqui é legal. Eita, o elevador deu problema. Mano, isso é muito legal, velho. Isso sim é legal. Olha a música. Que foda, mano.
It seems to have stopped.
Dá pra sentar? Não, não dá pra sentar. Seria legal se desse, né?
Where did this thing take us?
Seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Pera, qual o dano dessa chiori? Eu vi 10 mil ou foi 100 mil? Eu acho que... Quer dizer, 100k ou sei lá, não sei. Acho que 10k, né? Certeza. Porque... Nem a minha faz isso. Nossa, eu ficar com medo de me afogar, mas lembrei. Ah, tô em Fontaine. Mano, eu sempre confundo isso, tá? Porque, tipo... Eu tô muito acostumado com Fontaine, então... Quando eu tô em Otário que não é Fontaine, eu fico, tipo... Meu Deus, verdade, eu vou me afogar. Pô, eu esqueço que eu não tô. Agora que eu tô em Fontaine, eu tô achando que eu não tô em Fontaine, esse negócio baixo. Porque eu tenho que ficar mais atento. Não, foi 18k mesmo, não foi o que eu tava pensando. Olha a lendária dela. Não vou pegar, porque eu tava tentando pegar, mas eu lembrei. Pô, tem só artefato dourado, 5 estrelas, nem dá pra eu pegar. Não dá. É. Bom, converter meu objeto. Eita, esse aqui deve doer, hein? Deixa eu fazer o teste. Não há massa? Não há massa, sério? E pra que serve esse aqui, velho?
We're way behind schedule.
Essa armadilha? Ou só pra assustar? Acho que é só pra assustar. Porque a Mihoya não tem física, tipo, de morrer assim, tá ligado?
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Nossa.
Ugh. That water looks super nasty! Oh, Paimon can smell the stench from all the way over here.
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch.
Muito arrombado ele, arrombado.
He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut
Mestre, levou um
costs.
couro pra Chiori. Eu quero muito que ele apareça aí e leve um couro dela aí.
Never mind issues with shrinking and
Nossa, eu quero
fading.
tanto.
These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
That's terrifying! Let's take some photos right away as evidence.
Isso, tira foto da água, tira foto de tudo.
This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Alright, let's keep going.
Eita, habilidade elemental de Chiori pode avançar rapidamente. Após. Colocar uma mecânica dessa pra fazer parkour. Achei legal isso, hein? Achei legal. Mas só uma vez aí é triste, viu? Botar essa pose uma vez.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks too. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
Ele quer nos prender dentro da fábrica. É, então ele está aqui, né?
He knew we'd be coming.
É,
You did say
ele
you
tá
knew you
aqui
really
mesmo.
well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because we used to be partners.
But you're practically at each other's throats. Now you're telling us you used to work together?
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. We
Eita,
shared the
design
same goal,
iniciante.
so we decided to work together. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leave people in awe. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, Uter's confidence disappeared little by little. Finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of, and we parted ways. For my part, I gambled it all and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to present it, of course, but I knew it was my chance to show the industry what I was made of. In the end, well...
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiori Boutique, he's harassed me every year since.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first.
Vamos focar em sair
Missing the
daqui
show is as
primeiro,
good as
assim.
letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Let's see if any of those buttons do anything.
Eu sabia que seria isso. Padrão. Saía da fábrica do...
That doesn't seem to have done anything.
Seria legal se tivesse fuga, né? Tipo, nessa missão. Tipo, a fábrica vai explodir. Ah, nós tem tempo pra fugir. Eita.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get out.
Ali? E como eu vou chegar ali? Nem tem escada. Ah, tá. Entendi. E se eu tivesse por baixo? Pegar o XP? Não. O artefato não, o XP. Não é pra cá? É pra cá sim, na verdade. Mas se eu cair nessa água aí? Provavelmente reinicia. Pô, eu cair no negócio. Vai amassar? Ai, realmente amassa. Mas tipo, meio que empurra, não sei. Eu errei o caminho, mas tudo bem. Eu errei bastante o caminho. Faz parte. Todo mundo sabe nesse canal que eu me perco fácil. Ó, tá legal esse aqui, viu? Tá legal. Tem bastante obstáculo pra me atrapalhar no caminho. Não vou mentir. Opa, baú. Que nojeira. O que tinha do outro lado será, hein? Meu Deus. Oh, que missão longa, hein? Na moral. Eu tô pensando se realmente posto isso hoje ou posto outra coisa. Só que não tem mais nada a postar, então não sei, tá ligado?
Finally, the entrance at last.
Oh, Those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
Olha ele aí.
What a
Vai apanhar
surprise.
feio agora.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory. You're not getting away this time, Uter.
The evidence on your person, you mean?
Estão com você, quer dizer.
What makes you think I have
Faz
any
pensar que eu tenho
intention of
qualquer
letting it
intenção
get
de
past
deixar
these
sair
walls?
dessas paredes. Ah, mas eles vão sair. E você não tem como fazer nada. Não, é incrível. Um figurante sabe que o Aether é forte. Ele não é capaz de enfrentar o Aether.
Oh, but this is
Sei que
a
o Aether não
legitimate
chega perto de uma
purpose.
conte, né? Mas,
Destroying Chiori Boutique?
pô,
Or continuing to make your rotten
o Aether
rags?
já enfrentou muita dificuldade. Vai mesmo perder pra um figurante. Tá de sacanagem.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you. Stop trying to cater to it. Focus on your own work, and you get to decide what fashion means.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll
Se
cater to
gostar de
all
você
the
também
voices
irá
too,
ter
you
todas
know.
as vozes sabidas.
After all, what
Tem
is
modas, né?
fashion but another
Meu
form of
Deus.
public opinion?
Fashion is about
Moda
aspiring
sobre
towards a certain
inspirar, é
ideal.
direção.
But it's up to you to decide what it is.
Depende de você.
My brand
Decidir o
caters
que
to
é.
no one but
Minha
myself
marca
and my
atende
vision.
ninguém, além de mim
That's
mesmo.
my ideal.
Isso,
and it's not going
agora
to change.
isso mesmo. A Chiori gosta de fazer as coisas do jeito dela, não do
Well,
jeito,
once the
não
people
do
witness
jeito,
their
do jeito dos
former
outros.
darling's spectacular
Ah, sei lá,
fall,
eu
they'll
disse isso também,
understand
mas
how
tipo, é
laughable
bem
that
difícil
ideal
explicar isso, mas você
truly
entendeu.
is.
That's what you've been trying to prove all
É
this
tipo,
time?
ela não
Your
quer tipo
jaded
fazer
understanding of the
por
industry is the
agradar
reason
todos,
you've
entendeu?
had it
Ela
out for
faz
my
tipo
brand
por
for so
agradar ela
long?
também. Tipo, ela quer sim agradar os outros, mas ela quer fazer do jeito dela, entendeu?
What
Não
happened
quer
to the
fazer do
man
jeito
who
dos
wanted to
outros.
make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand, but you're just a bitter
Não,
man
você
who
é
let his
sim um homem
regrets
amargo
dictate
que
his
deixa o seu
choices.
arrependimento
You
ditar
regret
suas
giving
escolhas.
up on your
Você
dream.
arrepende de desistir do seu
So you
sonho,
stopped
então
at
você
nothing to
desistiu
prove
de
to
tentar
yourself that
provar
it
pra você
wasn't the wrong
mesmo
choice.
que não foi a escolha
This
errada.
whole thing,
Isso tudo
Uter.
é patético.
It's
É
pathetic.
patético mesmo.
Pathetic. Why don't you
Se
take a
você
look
se
in the
olhar no
mirror?
espelho, você é uma
You're a
tola que
fool daydreaming
vai
about
sonhar com
taking
acreditar
all of
pelos
Tibet by
filhos.
storm.
Bem, boa
Well,
sorte fazendo isso
good luck
quando
doing
nem
that when even
mesmo com
Fontaine
aquele que não
doesn't have a
olhar pra
place
você
for you
mais.
anymore.
Que arrombado.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools. But more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool
Isso.
is brave enough to try.
You.
Chiori, você vai primeiro. Você precisa ir a um show. Isso.
Yeah, just leave this guy to us.
Isso,
Não.
deixa com a gente.
You go instead.
Ah, oxi. Não.
He has a gun.
It'll be fine. Just
Vai
go
dar
to the venue
certo,
and tell
apenas
everyone to
vá para
proceed
o
with the
local do
plan.
evento e siga para
I'll deal with him.
Eu vou lidar com
Some
algumas
lessons
lições, sou melhor assim
are
da...
best
Isso,
delivered in
bata
person.
nele, é isso que eu queria ver. Tenha cuidado, tudo bem. Não fala tenha cuidado porque, bom, ele é um figurante.
Trying to
Eu não
leave,
tenho
are
chance
we?
com ela. A
I've held
Chiori
back
com
all
duas
this time
espadas.
because of our past
Sabia.
partnership, Uter.
Por conta da nossa antiga parceria.
But all that changed
Mas
after
tudo
our
isso mudou
tour of your
depois dessa
factory.
expedição pela sua fábrica.
Still trying to
Ainda
talk
tentando
tough, I
tudo bom,
see.
entenda.
No matter what you've been through,
Não
no matter
importa
why
tudo que
you've
você
become like
passou, não
this,
importa que você
if I may
tenha
borrow
sido.
the words of a friend,
Se eu puder pegar
a guy like
emprestado
you
as
doesn't
palavras
deserve
de um
my
amigo,
sympathy.
um sujeito com você. Eita,
allow me
acaba
to
com
show
ele,
you
vai.
the true meaning of the Chiori brand.
Eita, mostra, vai Chiori, mostra.
The Chiori brand
Nossa, uma
represents more than a
cutscene, que
person
linda,
or a
mana.
trademark. It's a way of
Mano do
life.
céu, que coisa linda. Meu Deus.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast
Mano, a
your
missão
eyes
da
on the
Chiori é tão
extravaganza
linda.
that Chiori Boutique
Que
has prepared
perfeita.
for you today.
Que bonitinho, mano.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
An enduring, never say die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chiori brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress,
Eita.
Miss Chiori herself.
Eu vou ficar em silêncio, não vou tentar ler a legenda não. Quero prestar atenção e deixar vocês ouvirem certinho. Que lindo!
Lights, cameras, over here, please.
Let the show begin.
Nossa, que linda!
fashion along with it. But Chioria will
Meu
remain the same.
Deus!
No
Olha a
challenge
nave!
is too great.
Mentira que a
Chioria
roupa da
caters
Chiori
to no
fez.
one.
Mano, olha que rara,
Not
velho.
even the
Meu
times.
Deus! Mano, que coisa linda,
Rather,
velho.
Chioria will
Olha
always
isso.
lead the fashion of our time. Finally,
Mano, isso
let's
tá
not
lindo,
forget.
viu? Isso tá muito lindo. Meu Deus, olha isso, mano. Isso tá mais lindo que uma cutscene. Eu falei que queria uma cutscene, mas isso tá Isso é uma cutscene, tecnicamente, né? Mas tipo, não, uma animação, na verdade, não uma cutscene. Mas tá muito mais lindo que uma cutscene, velho. Que
Only
isso?
those who do not give up on their
Mano, que
dreams
coisa linda.
are
Véio.
worthy
Tá,
of
superou
this
muito minha
brand.
expectativa. Minha lendária favorita até hoje.
Well then,
É
I
sério,
suppose
minha
all that's
lendária
left to say
favorita.
is Happy Fashion
Olha
Week,
isso,
fellow
mano, que
dreamers.
lindo. Tem até uma marca do negócio dela, velho. Mano, isso é perfeito, velho. Isso é muito lindo, velho. Que isso. Palmas, gente, palmas, palmas. Não vou dar palmas porque, né, eu não quero fazer barulho aqui, mas tipo, palmas. Simplesmente palmas.
How about
A amigo eu merece.
A little more to the left.
like this?
Perfect.
Que lindo,
Oh,
viu?
that looks great. Miss Chiori, can I take a
Nossa,
picture?
olha isso, mano.
Of
Que
course.
lindo.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how
Que
can you
coisa
become
linda.
renowned
Tá
through
me
all of
emocionando,
Tibet
velho.
without a fancy signboard of your own?
Isso é
Miss Vina's
muito
way ahead
lindo,
of you in
velho.
that regard.
Now
Ah,
that
e
you
agora?
mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about
Pássaro
the
raivoso.
Hangry Bird?
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed into a single hat?
Desculpa o barulho que eu fiz. Eu não sei
That
se deu
sounds
pra
super
ouvir o barulho.
snuggly and warm.
And a
Tô com
bit cramped.
ansiedade. Ansiedade. Pra acabar logo. Eu
Miss
preciso postar
Chiori,
esse
I'm
vídeo.
done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the traveler gathered.
Não só porque
Thank
tem que
you,
postar antes
Charlotte.
das meia-noite, mas porque tá lindo
It's
também,
my
tá
pleasure.
lindo.
Bringing the
Nossa, eu
truth
quero que
to
seja um
light
dos
is a
vídeos
journalist's
mais
duty.
perfeitos do meu canal. Eu quero fazer uma thumb
Going
perfeita
forward,
pra
feel
ele.
free to custom order
Nossa
any
senhora.
accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's
Tô
on the
maluco
house.
com essa lendária. Essa missão lendária. A mais longa e a mais
you really mean
perfeita que eu já vi na minha
Of
vida.
course.
E tem gente que
The
diz
same
que
goes
não.
for you too,
Que a Mihoe
Lydia
não
Lynette.
investiu no
If
Chiori.
you have need of any costumes in the
Garganta
future,
morreu de novo.
just drop me a note.
What about
Olha,
something
pode não
other
ter
than a
investido na
costume?
personagem em si.
Thank
Tipo,
you,
em questão
Chiori.
de
It's much appreciated.
dano, kit, não sei o
Well,
que.
I don't really need
Mas pode
anything.
ter certeza que
Just don't be a
insistiram
stranger,
no
all right?
trailer,
I don't need
teaser,
anything either. So long as you continue
missão
to request
lendária.
my international
Isso,
courier
isso
services
ela
from Komani
investiu,
Express,
porque,
we're
meu
golden.
Deus.
Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving, Kirara?
About that.
The Spina di Rosula has
Olha
prepared
que
a special
linda.
vehicle for
A nave
you,
de
so you can
óculos
just
do
get
sol
in and
é
we'll
muito
push it
bonita,
all the
velho.
way out of
Não tem
Fontaine.
como.
What? No, that's so embarrassing.
Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chiori?
Olha a
Of course.
Chevrose.
Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show, appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization, using weaponry in public, hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Que isso? Chevrosa tá muito desnecessária.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Ah tá,
Says the one who pulled that
ela não
stunt
tava
earlier.
xingando.
How about you do me a
Nem
favor
chamou
and tell me in
atenção.
advance next time you're planning something like that?
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least
Ah lá.
spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Sandra, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter. Sounds pretty thoughtful if you ask me.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have this one.
Well,
É.
friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go. Spina's treat.
I'll have to take a
Que
recheck.
lindo, vão jantar
I've still
todos
got a lot of
juntas.
paperwork to take care of, so
Todos
you
juntos,
all
na
go
verdade,
have
né?
fun.
Porque
by the
tem
way,
um viajante, tem
I
um
ran into
Linei.
Vanger on the way here.
É,
He
tem o
had a
viajante do
message for
Linei.
you.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some other day and give him a hard time about everything.
You know him well.
Thanks again, Chevrosa.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing.
Eita,
That was really quite an amazing show.
foi um show bem incrível. Realmente foi um show bem
You
incrível.
don't say.
Foi uma animação incrível.
All right, all right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast.
É, a
Come
Chevrosa
on,
não vai
we're
jantar
leaving.
com elas, que pena. Bom, faz sentido, a Chevrosa é bem ocupada.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to give you.
Eita,
A place with the
que
view?
lindo.
Oh, Paimon knows where you
O que será que ela vai
Sure,
fazer?
no problem.
Perfect. I'll be right there.
Que missão longa do caralho, mano. Eu tô em choque. Mano, 2 horas já. É quase 2 horas de missão. É sério. Ok.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. But what did you want to give us that you couldn't share right in front of everyone else?
Here, take this.
Oh, wow.
Que lindo! Um broche!
Chiori boutique too.
Ah, que bonitinho, eu gostei.
Paimon gets one as well?
Se não der pra equipar isso no viajante, eu vou ficar puta.
I've
Vai
only
ficar
made
puta,
2
viu,
for
Mihoyo?
now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two.
Vou cuidar muito bem disso.
You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were
É
even
claro,
times
né?
when I felt like I had to fight back and win. Even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This result, it was all you, Chiori.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so
Fui
long
atrás
that
de
I've come to
por
understand
tanto tempo
something.
que acabei
Apart from conviction and persistence,
escondendo, eu nem vi
the
li
thing that
direito.
matters most is having friends who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chiori Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it.
Que momento lindo.
About the stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. But before that, I'd like to
Que
admire the view
lindo.
for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.
Olha que bonito. Ah, mano, eu amei, tá? Amei. Que pena, ela não tá aqui mais. Ah lá, mano, o broche não vai ficar no viajante. Ah, me roio. Eu ainda te pego. Nossa senhora! Uma gema. Como que pega uma gema? Deixa eu ver aqui. Eu vou dar um tiro aqui agora. Pra ver se vem um nevolet. Onde eu vou achar um baú? Eu não sei. Eu vou me virar. Mas eu vou achar um. Talvez eu tenha pego todos dessa área. Mas eu não acho que eu peguei todos ainda. Ah, eu usei o negócio errado também, né? É. Complicado. Vai ser difícil. Qual área que tá menos porcentagem? Aqui. Pô, na moral. Ajuda aí, jogo. O quê? Ah tá, lembrei. Esse canto aqui dá pra andar em cima da água. Mas é melhor não abusar tanto. Em algum momento eu vou cair. Achou. Ali. Por favor. Venha, Neuvillette. Não? Ah, tem desafio ali em cima, mas eu vou pegar aqui mesmo.
Next on the agenda.
Ok, vamos trocar aqui para aquele time. Porque quando trava, porque tipo, quando a pessoa entra no seu time, no meio do banner, ele dá uma travadinha o jogo. Então, se travar é porque veio o personagem novo. Bora ver agora. Deixa eu só pegar essa espada aqui. Pronto. É tiro, bora lá. F, não foi dessa vez. Pra quem quer saber o meu pitch, ó. Meu pitch tá assim, ó. Tá assim. Só que bota mais um. Então a derriar ela fica aqui. É porque não conta o tiro recente que eu dei. Demora a aparecer um pouco. É isso aí, gente. Espero que tenham gostado do vídeo. É nóis, tamo junto. Falou, até a próxima. Eu espero conseguir o Neuvillette.